No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, we have a Cornish gin on the show for you. If you don't know what Cornish means, it means it's from Cornwall. If you don't know what Cornwall means, it's basically the southernmost tip, the southernmost county of the United Kingdom. If you don't know what the United Kingdom is, then I don't know, just Google it, I haven't got all day. Anyway, let me introduce you to it. It is Tarquins Cornish Sunshine Blood Orange Gin, and that is quite a mouthful. Now, those of you who remember way back, way near the beginning of the channel, I reviewed the original Tarquins gin, which I believe is this little bottle up here, which I absolutely loved. It was one of my favourite gins, and for some reason, I don't know why, I've kind of rationed this one. I've still got a little bit left, but it was, the sort of botanicals made me think, I'm not really sure, because it was kind of a bit sort of flowery, kind of sort of a bit perfumey, like potpourri. And if you don't know what potpourri is, it's not very popular these days. It was very big in the 1980s. It was like a sort of a bowl with sort of dried up leaves and seed pods and rose buds, and it was sort of perfumed, like sort of air freshener. It would smell kind of very, very sort of strong, supposedly pleasant smell. Aunties would have them in their houses when you went round there, which, as I say, does not sound particularly pleasant. However, they sort of use these kind of floral botanicals in such a clever and intelligent way. It made an extraordinary gin. I really, really liked it. So I'm very, very excited to try this blood orange edition for you, my friends, today. However, my friends, before we get stuck in, I must thank another one of my subscribers who has joined my patrons. Now, something weird happened with this week, because last week I had to thank Drew Lee for joining my YouTube members. However, less than an hour later, someone called Drew Lewis signed up to my patrons, and I thought maybe it's the same person, you know, maybe he sort of made a mistake, went to the YouTube, decided he wanted to be a patron, and maybe he joined both, I didn't know. However, turns out it is another Drew, two Drews. Who knew two Drews joined up within 1 hour? So Mr. Drew Lewis, thank you very much. I've got the right one. Yes, Drew Lewis, thank you very much. You are a gentleman, a gentleman, sir. You are an official supporter of the show, and I quite literally salute you. So then, let's find out a bit about it, shall we? And as it's from Cornwall, I shall be doing my best Cornish accent. And Cornish accent is, if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like a bit sort of West Country farmery, a bit like sort of Samwise from Lord of the Rings. Oh, Mr. Frodo, I'll carry the ring for you. Well, I don't know what all this is, but you get the general idea. Tarquins Cornish Sunshine Blood Orange Gin. This sumptuous fruit-flavoured gin is infused with blood orange, summer fruits and aromatic gentian root for a distinct herbal bitterness. And it makes absolutely delicious cocktails. Now, annoyingly, that's all they got there. They've hardly written anything about it, so I'm going to have to carry on and do a bit of more Cornish accent, because I don't think you're getting your money's worth. Not that you're paying for this anyway, it's bloody well free. But I will just read out the list of botanicals from the original bastard over there. By the way, if you want to perfect an absolute spot-on Cornish accent, just do a load of inaudible sort of drivel, followed by ha-ha, and then bastard at the end. I wonder about him in the top field. Oh, this thing, they bring back the Land Rover, ha-ha, bastard. Or something like that. Anyway, botanicals. So then we got juniper, obviously, and they tell you where they get it from as well. Juniper from Italy, coriander seed from, where is it? From Bulgaria, licorice root from Uzbekistan, angelica root from Poland, orris root from Morocco, green cardamom from Guatemala, cinnamon from Madagascar, bitter almonds from Morocco, fresh orange, lemon and grapefruit peel, seasonally sourced, and violets from Devon. Now, I'm not sure what made me think it was a kind of a florally kind of list of botanicals, I don't know, but the one thing which I was quite surprised about was the violets, because that's a very, very strong, as I say, florally flavour. However, they just put a tiny infinitesimal dot in there, and it kind of brought it to life, in my opinion. So, my friends, I think that's quite enough fanning around for one episode. Let's break this beautiful wax seal, which apparently they dip each one of them in like a big vat of wax. Let's bust it open and see what it's like, shall we? So then, let's see, is it going to be one of those time-consuming ones? No, it's not. Oh, man, that is very therapeutic. I like that. So, I believe it has a cork test, so we know what that means. It's going to be the Cornish cork test.
The Cornish cork test, you bastard.
So, do we have a squeak? No squeak at all, no squeak, absolutely fine. By the way, I'm a bit worried today because I went to put my microphone on, I don't know if you can tell, the kind of the fluffy cover to it has disappeared. I don't know where it is, it must have got lost in my shirt when I took it off last time, so it's probably in the washing machine somewhere. So I'm hoping this sound is all going to be okay. But there's one way to test it, and that is, of course, with the cork test. So we go for the full pull. Oh! champion pull. Deep and booming and thunderous. Very, very pleasing. Now then, pleasing smell. No, pleasing cork test. Will it be a pleasing smell? That was smooth, wasn't it? So, get some in the glass. Oh yes, would you look at the, well obviously we know what colour it is because you can see it through the glass. So, let's have a blast on this one then, shall we? Here we go. Oh man alive. As you know on this show, I am partial to an orange gin. I just think orange is one of the best flavours to marry with gin. And we do get quite a lot of blood orange gins. Sorry about that, I ran out of batteries there. But what I was trying to say is, oh man, we get a lot of blood orange gins, but to me, I think they just call it blood orange to make it sound a little bit different, a little bit exotic, particularly with the Beefeater one over there. Didn't seem to be blood orangey at all. However, that one, I think, has really captured that sort of lusciousness of the blood orange as opposed to a normal orange. It's kind of a sort of a heavier, deeper, thicker sort of orange scent. I don't know much about blood oranges themselves, I'm not a scientist. All I know is what they smell like and what they taste like. And that seems, to me, oh man, captured it. It's kind of it's very strong, but sort of soft and relaxing. Strong, it's like a firm, strong pair of hands giving you a massage. They feel kind of, this is getting really weird. You've sensed the firmness and the strength, but they deliver it in a very relaxing and sort of therapeutic way. Honestly, I talk a lot of old bollocks on this show sometimes. Let's not fanny around. Let's stop the weird metaphors and get the old tonic in there. Now, what ABV is this little fellow? I don't know, it doesn't say. Yes, it does, it's 38%. Now, as we know, that's 5%, 37.5, 0.5% above the marker at which it drops into a gin liqueur. So we do expect these sweet gins to drop a little bit lower. However, I like that they've kept it above, unlike some of the Beefeaters which have dropped to 37.5. So then, that means we're definitely going to be trying it. We try them all these days because of popular demand, but I think this is going to make an excellent gin and tonic. So here we go, my friends. Let's get these the right way around. Tarquins Cornish Sunshine Blood Orange Gin, which is quite the mouthful. I say, whoops, and he fell over there. I say, cheers. Oh, oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. Wow. Wow. Like I said, the market is kind of saturated at the moment with orange gins. Everyone seems to be getting on board with this whole orange theme. I like to think it's because of me spreading the word, but I doubt it very much. So obviously, you're going to get a lot of them that kind of taste fairly similar. And I think the most bog standard of them all, I'm sad to say because I'm a big fan of Beefeater on this show, as I say, is the Beefeater Blood Orange Gin. It was very kind of standard, bog standard, just orange out of a packet kind of flavour. However, the reason I'm going on about this is because I think that is as far away from that to the other end, the positive end of the scale, as it could possibly get. It's an absolute journey, a real varied and up and downy journey. So first of all, you get a kind of a sizzle on the tongue as it goes in, and it's kind of it's a beautiful sort of fruity and depth, sort of low, sort of big depth flavoured fruit. That makes no sense. There's a fruitiness to it that sort of goes deep down and like heavy and laden, but which is obviously primarily orange, but tinged with a beautiful bitteriness as well. It's not a sweet, it is sweet and tangy, but it's kind of offset with this dark, kind of bitter element to it, but just balanced beautifully, which then gives way to a kind of a sort of a light sparkle that raises up through the mouth, which is a little bit more zesty, I'd say, a little bit kind of, what sort of fruit peels did they say they used? It was, yeah, I thought so, lemon. You get a kind of out of that sort of dark swirling orangeness, there's a kind of that zestiness of the lemon kind of lifts out of it and sort of, but it's like they're married and singing and harmoniously sort of in accord with each other. That's a great gin. But then just as you swallow, hang on, let me remind myself again. Oh yeah. Just as you swallow, you get like a sharp zing as it goes down, and then your mouth is flooded with all the original flavours of the Tarquins, that complex mix of botanicals, and particularly this kind of a little swirl of, which I think is the violet, but that sounds horrible, drinking violet. I know, I would never, we've had some Parma Violets gin on the show before, and I didn't like it at all, but they literally just put a tiny dot in there, and it kind of mixed with the flavours, and it just lifts them a little bit into something quite wonderful. And in fact, I totally get why they call it Cornish Sunshine Blood Orange Gin. It just tastes like pure summer in a glass. I mean, get a bit of ice in there, you know, a bit of orange garnish, maybe a bit of mint or something in there. I tell you what, we're in the middle of summertime here while I'm recording here in the UK. That, you get yourself in your garden or your backyard, as you call it in America, get a glass of that in your hand, you are gonna feel fantastic. So then, let's give it a little go neat, straight out the bottles. Quite, that was a big bit. Holy shit! Wow! Wow, wow, wow. I always say when you try gins neat, it seems to be sort of a harsh punch, but a lot of the flavours are lost, ironically. I think the tonic opens up those, unlocks those flavours. However, this is even sweeter. This is a very sweet, neat gin. So if you know, my sweet gin haters, you probably won't do keen on this one, but people who have a bit of a sweet tooth, I'm gonna have another go. Oh! It's like a concentrated hit, almost kind of cordial kind of taste. Not particularly strong, as we'd expect, because it's down to 38%. But I tell you what, over ice, that I do know I'm not a neat gin drinker, but that I am definitely going to give that one a go tonight. So then, I'm very pleased with that, as you can probably tell. However, am I pleased with the price? Well, let's find out. Well, I can tell you, my friends, I bloody well am. I would say, certainly here in the UK, I'm not sure, I think it's available further afield now as well. Have a look in your local liquor store or sort of alcohol shop, whatever you call it. But it's definitely what I would call a kind of a mainstream one now. So I would expect it to be between 30 and 40 pounds. And it's kind of almost halfway, bang in the middle, at 36 pounds, which is for it's kind of lower mainstream, isn't it, really? It's not way up there, but it's not a boutique one. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So I would say that's pretty much bang on. I expect it to be about sort of 35 pounds, something like that. But that extra quid is worth it every single day of the week. That's bloody... just to give you an idea, that equates to about $50 or about 42 euros. And I'm telling you, that is worth it every day of the week. So then, guys, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, I've gone for a sort of a cluttered sort of desk look today to make people think I'm busy. I used to do that when I worked in an office. Little tip for you, if you work in an office and you want your boss to think you're working, just put a bit of clutter around, sort of spread things around the desk like that, and then when he walks past, just do this, just go, Jesus Christ, there we go. Makes you look like you're busy, even if you're just playing solitaire. You see, not just gin reviews, just good, solid, useful, helpful advice on life. Right, back to the review. To sum up, guys, as I say, this was a real big hit for me. So they are expanding into a lot of different areas, Tarquins, I know now. They've got all sorts of flavours. And I kind of think when a gin does that and they diversify into all sorts of weird and wonderful things, are they losing sight of what they were? Are they just trying to put loads of stuff out there to appeal to a mass market? Well, if they are, I don't care, because that is the most interesting, complicated and intelligent and, you know, well thought out orange gin I think I have ever tasted, to be honest. As I say, I'm a big fan of the orange gins, but I would say of all of them I've tried, which was my favourite one? Probably the Malfi, was it called Conarancia, I think? Their blood orange one. That was excellent, but I'm telling you now, not just does that equal it, that blows it out the water. So I would say to you, if you see this in your country, wherever you are, do not hesitate. Buy it immediately, because it's extremely nice. Despite the fact that I have written to Tarquins before and they've ignored me, which is kind of annoying, but I have to speak as I find. I have to be honest with you. That is quite amazing. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Hope it's changed your life in immeasurable ways. If it has, don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel, press the little like button on this video, and of course the bell icon so you get notified when my new videos come out. And if you want to support the show, like good old Drew Lewis did, head over to my Patreon page or click my join button down there to join my YouTube members. But until next time, guys, you know the drill. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my wonderful patrons and members, and keep drinking the gin.